On tonight's episode, we talk about 2 movies.
Yeah, first we'll swing by Zamunda for Coming to America.
Then we go to a different planet. What's it called, the planet?
I think it's just New Earth.
New Earth.
Something.
On Chaos Walking. It's starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley and some other people. And
other pop culture news of the week.
Yes.
Alright, so, spoiler alerts, right?
Spoiler alerts.
Okay.
Yes. That's just funny. Okay, let's start talking about which one I want to talk about first.
Let's start with Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The hand gesture is part of the title.
It's because it's Coming to America.
Yeah.
In the first movie is called Coming to America.
Yeah, like Coming to T.O.
Yeah. Which in this one, first thing, it should be called Coming to Zamunda.
It should be, yeah. I mean, I was going to say that finally they've named a sequel appropriately. I'm sure we've talked about on here my whole beef with Catch Me If You Can. No, not that one. Now You See Me. Now You See Me Too. Like how there's just a colossal waste. Or... Anyway, so yeah, Coming to America, I applaud that. But he's right, like, we're in America for a whopping, 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
The rest is in Zamunda.
Yes. So, Eddie Murphy, the great Eddie Murphy is back for this sequel to Coming to America, the 80s movie.
Yeah. In fact, they had most of the original cast back.
Most? What didn't they have? I mean, the sister.
Yeah.
And Soglo. yeah, but they were not important for the plot, so
it's
I guess.
True. Yeah. To be fair, a lot of the original cast was Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall.
That's true.
And Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy.
What's his name? Cliff Curtis. Maybe it's not it. Yeah. And there's one third guy.
Yeah. And the barbershop.
Is the guy? Yeah. Is the guy that at the church too? Is the only guy that likes what's his bucket?
I can't remember.
Sexual
the band
chocolate.
In the blue. Yes.
Is that so gone?
With like the sky blue suits, the powder blue suits.
So.
Yeah.
Quick about the first movie. So in the first movie, Eddie Murphy brings a king of Zamunda, a king Jojo, which is funny. Jaffa. Because it's not a big deal on the first movie, his last name. On the second they mentioned so many that anyway, it's almost like they were trying to make a thing out of it. Anyways, so he's a prince of this kingdom in Africa that much like Wakanda is ruled by this great king and generations of kings before him in this prosperous African nation. And Eddie Murphy's character is raised as a prince with all the prince's privileges. And
he walks on rose petals.
Yeah.
He has a team of royal bathers and dressers.
Yes.
He practices fighting with a staff.
But and it comes to the age that he needs to get married, and his father, his father and the fathers before them, find him a wife in a neighborhood kingdom. But he says like, no, I don't want it. I want to find love. I don't want to arrange marriage. So he comes to America to find love.
But also to live as like a normal person.
Yes.
Like he deliberately, everywhere they go, they tell the cab driver at the airport, like, take us to the most common place. So he takes them to Queens.
Yeah.
And they're like, give us a poor apartment. And the landlord's like, fine.
Yeah.
He takes a job working at McDowell's?
McDowell's.
Yeah, McDowell's. Yeah. Mopping the floor. Like, just, yeah. So there's kind of two aspects to that.
But he does that because he wants someone that loves him for him, not for what he has or what he is as a prince. So and then he finds love, and there's the usual comedy that you kept a secret from me, you a prince, and then the girl runs away. But finally she realizes like, hey, that's not bad. It's actually good. You know.
I actually do love him.
It's not like he's a psycho forger or serial killer. Anyways, so they married, go back to Wakanda and live.
Nope. Zamunda.
This is right. They go back to Zamunda and live happily ever after. And here comes the problem with the sequel. Right away. Which is a problem with some sequels that we've seen these days. You have character development from one point to another. He evolves somehow because he always wanted to get out of his crystal cage, get out of his golden...
his gilded cage.
Huh?
Gilded cage.
Gilded cage, is that
Yeah, that's a phrase we use a lot.
Okay. You know, and he does, so his character evolves a little bit. Then comes the second movie, and he devolves to and they did that to Luke Skywalker on
Yes.
the new trilogy, and on this one too. It's like the good person that he was and the bad person that he became at the end goes down and becomes.
Yeah, they kind of.
They also does that. They also does that to the father. You know, it's the father is a bad guy on the sequel, and they did that on Black Panther too.
Wait, James Earl Jones?
Yeah, it was like
no, it's fine.
no the things Eddie Murphy does bad on the sequel. Someone says like you becoming your father. I think it's the wife that says that.
Yeah,
because
I don't know if his dad was a bad guy so much as his dad sort of represented like the old traditional conservative traditional.
But sure.
Zamunda, whereas like the whole premise of the first movie is that Eddie Murphy wanted something different, something like a more enlightened and modern.
Yeah, but in the end, he
arrangement.
happily allows it. He brings the girl.
Yeah.
Even though he mistreats the girl, even his character was like bad somehow, and evolves, becomes a better character.
Sure.
And in this movie, they all go like, and that's something they do for sequels is like instead of working on the new characters, you know,
or creating a new problem or a new challenge.
Sure. But yeah, but it's the, you know, it's like the character that learned that already has to learn again. It's kind of, you know.
And they set that up like right at the beginning. We see he's Prince Akeem and his wife are awakened in the same way he's woken up in the first one, and there's still the rose petals and the bathers and the palace and all the trappings and all this stuff. But then like the real cherry on top is that Prince Akeem has 3 daughters, and so that means when his dad dies and he becomes the king, there's no male heir, and everybody's giving him a hard time about that. And instead of saying, well, my daughter's actually a boss, has been raised for this her entire life, is completely capable of taking over, and I'm the king and I can change the law, he has a whole breakdown about it, and this like medicine man type shaman tells him to go to New York and find his son.
He's a monkey, right? The monkey from Lion King. Yeah, pretty much.
It is the same kind of character, yeah.
I mean, they do have a Lion King, you know, the king wears a big lion.
That's right, and
it was the inspiration for Mufasa. He's actually Mufasa because it's James Earl Jones.
That's right. Yeah, the parents. So yeah, the king and queen in the first one are Mufasa and Sarabi in The Lion King. But yeah. Anyway.
So let's go real quick to the story. So Hakeem is the king to be. His father's about to die, and they actually do a funeral for the father.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. They have like famous African American singers. They have
Gladys Knight comes.
Morgan Freeman
narrates the funeral.
Yes, Salt and Pepper, and they doing this thing, this pre-funeral, this funeral with the body alive.
Yeah, James Earl Jones, or the King Jaffa is still alive in his coffin. He's like, this is a good funeral. I'm gonna die now.
And he does.
And he dies.
So
that's the way to go.
Yeah.
In the middle of Gladys Knight's solo, this is a tribute to you and your reign.
And there's this thing. He needs an heir. He needs a boy, a male heir to be king, and he doesn't. and there's a political aspect of that. That there's the neighborhood kingdom has this dictator now.
Sorry, what's the name of the neighborhood kingdom?
Neighbor.
Nextoria.
Nextoria, yes.
Nextoria.
So the great Wesley Snipes, it was like Wesley slapping Eddie Murphy together. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's hilarious. This dictator that turns out to be the father of the lady that was.
No, he's the brother of the intended bride in the first movie.
Yes. And so there's this menace, it's like, hey, if you can produce this place a king, I'll take over,
Mm-hmm.
And so he decides to come to America because he finds out through what's his name, Nike. It's a thing that's the assistant of Arsenio Hall. Semi. And Semi tells him, it's like, don't you remember? He had sex with this lady that wasn't in the first movie at all, and she has a baby, and he's your son. So they come to America, and they have this interesting montage of scenes with the old movie, with new characters, and he had sex with the character of Leslie Jones and had a son.
He didn't remember it because he was super high because she gave him ceremonial herbs.
Yeah. So he comes to America, convinces this kid and the mom and some of the family to go back to Zamunda and say, hey, you're gonna be king. Let's go and you're gonna go through the prince trials.
Which are things like he's got to get whiskers from a lion and tests of strength and cleverness and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and he only passes the tests with the help of the three princes, with the three daughters. So they basically being raised to be queens. So they have the knowledge, they have the braveness, and what was the other one?
I don't remember all the qualifications.
History, the family history.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're teaching him. That's where the whole King Jaffa thing comes in. He's got to learn the whole lineage of monarchs and. So the
princesses help him, and he passed the test, including the oldest one. There's the same girl from Old Guard. She helps him and to pass the test, and he passed the test. But meanwhile, he's very friendly with this
the royal barber.
The royal barber.
Yeah, the girl who comes in to tend to his royal coiffure.
Do you call barber if it's only hair?
Yes. In fact, I think in English, I could be wrong about this.
Because in Portuguese, barba. This is barba.
Oh, that makes sense.
And you go to barbeiro. Sure, some places might call it themselves barbeiro because they cut man's hair. Most likely, they might not cut woman's hair, but they might only do hair. But this is barba. This is the origin of the name barber in Portuguese.
No, I think in English it just means, well, at this point, it just means someone who does men's hair.
Okay. So
this would include this.
The barba.
Yes.
So he becomes friendly with her, and then falls for her, and he decides it. One of the things was the king, Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes, dictator from Nextoria. They decided to arrange this marriage, and that's the thing. It's like Eddie Murphy went through this, and now he's. It's so character evolution and
the entire premise, the entire point of the first movie was him wanting to leave behind some of these traditions and be a new kind of monarch, a different kind of guy, different marriage, all the rest. And it's just all out the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For this movie.
And I have issues that they did the same thing in Black Panther since Wakanda's Zamunda. Black Panther, they did the same thing, and it was the great T'Chaka, the Father King was a great king and died terribly. He was a Black Panther before, and then they finally. Suddenly we realized that he was a bad guy. He had a son and abandoned the son, nephew, whatever, right? And it's I don't know. It's if you have a good character that's established as a good character, create problems somewhere else, or something else to be solved, not something that you went through a life-changing challenge and you overcome, and then you go back to it.
Yeah.
But if it was life-changing, how you're gonna make the same mistakes? It's like with Luke. It's the thing is like as you grow older, you grow darker, stupider, or what's the explanation for someone that was great and it was young and then gets old and starts sucking?
It happens. It happens.
It happens, but it's not but it's not all the time. It's like, I don't know. It feels like it's
scale.
It feels like it's a generational warfare. It's like maybe people that are young. Oh, okay, this character. Let's deconstruct them. And I mean, at least with Luke, that's pretty much what they did. But it's not young
people who's been doing it. Like, it's not like Rian Johnson is some cranky Gen Z.
But I mean, he's not Kasdan. Kasdan is like super old. Lucas is super old. It is a different generation.
Sure.
I don't know. If it's not that, there's sloppy writing for you evolve a character so much, and then when you could find some other issues, it's like you learned. Why you will unlearn when you're old.
By all means, you can continue to struggle and continue to have issues
with different things.
But when you have a major life-changing moment, it should stay a life-changing moment. Anyway, at the end of the day, this is an Eddie Murphy comedy.
Yeah. It
is really funny.
It is funny, and it pays so much homage to the originals that we pretty much see everything, even things that I thought I was assuming we would not see, like the Duke brothers, from another Eddie Murphy movie that makes a cameo on the original Coming to America.
That's right.
They come to this.
Yeah. So it was funny. I think it did everything it was supposed to do.
It was funny.
It had the nostalgia. It had comedy. It brought together a great cast.
It was a big hit. It was the best.
Most streamed movie of the year.
Yes.
We're 2.5 months in, but
I mean, but it's one of those revivals, awaited movies that and it was good. And I don't know what they're gonna go from there, since at the end the prince decides to stay in America and he becomes ambassador for Zamunda, and he marries the lady hairstylist, barber, whatever, and the princess is gonna stay home, and eventually she'll become the queen. And
they do make a joke at one point about how all Hollywood does is superhero movies and sequels that nobody asked for. And this is one of them, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
And it was funny.
It was definitely fun.
We can be done now.
Yeah, I think so. Who knows? Yeah. They left it open, the fact that there's a princess. She might want to get married. They could do something.
They could. I mean,
they could definitely not go fall in the same mistakes. And now Eddie Murphy's like, no, I'm gonna have to find you. Or go back to, or she decides to go to America.
Yeah, maybe that's the new royal tradition, to go to America to seek.
There's a phrase. What was the phrase that he says in the first movie that I told you? It's like, there's no intelligent woman.
He wants a woman to inspire his
loins
and his intellect.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah, and that's why he came to America. It's like, I came to America to find a wife. Yeah. Okay, so Coming to America, it's available on Amazon Prime, and it's funny. We recommend.
Yep.
And Eddie Murphy, the great Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. He's very talented.
He's not doing as much as he used to. He's not doing as much as he should. But finally, we have something fun, something big for the whole family.
Yes. All right. Major shift to Chaos Walking. This is a totally different genre, mood, everything just totally different. We saw this one actually in the theater, and I think this is a good one to see in the theater. It's got, well, it's science fiction, so you have like some, you know, big effects and things like that are worth seeing on a big screen. So this one stars Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. We also have Mads Mikkelsen and some other people. I think those were really the only three. Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, that's right.
Shows up. I don't think she was in any of the trailers, but
yeah. Oh no, she and
she wouldn't have been. It would have blown like a huge.
Yeah, it's a big plot twist.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, directed by Doug Liman, that we know from the Bourne movies. The Bourne, not porn. If he did porn, he used a different name. So the Bourne trilogy, not trilogy, there's more, but the Bourne movies, he was the one that like reinvented the Bourne with Matt Damon after, you know, I think it was Burt Reynolds? Oh, sorry, you know what? Anyways, don't call me on that. But also The Edge of Tomorrow. It's a really fun science fiction with Tom Cruise and the girl from Quiet Place, Emily Blunt, and also Jumper with Hayden Christensen and his former wife, and Samuel L. Jackson, Rachel Bilson. That's former wife. So another very creative science fiction based on a book.
Yeah, it's based on a YA trilogy that I'd never heard of until the end credits.
Another one for the series of books. Movies based on books that we didn't read.
But I'm gonna read someday.
Okay.
There's a lot of things I'm gonna do.
You will.
It's on my list though. I like the movie that much.
Plot. Tell the story.
Okay, so we start out on this planet called New Earth. No wait, we start out on the spaceship?
Yeah, when she was landing.
Yeah, so we start out
landing.
Yeah, there's a ship landing on this new planet. Everything seems to be going well. And then as they're entering the planet's atmosphere, this like weird, like shimmering iridescent energy kind of passes through the ship, and suddenly it like stays, and we can, like, the men are thinking out loud and freaking out, and there's like fire and everyone freaks out, and then
by men thinking out loud, she means whatever,
quite literally,
whatever men think, it comes out of them as sound and image.
Yeah, so they have this shimmer around them. There's the images. They totally freak out. The spaceship falls apart and crash lands. And from there we're introduced to Tom Holland's character. He's this kid in like a frontier type environment. He's got a dog. There's farming, just all men everywhere. But we also see he's got this noise too, and all these men do like they. And
he has a lot. He has way more noise than everybody else because he's
very
learning.
Young. Yeah.
And he was born there, right?
Yeah, he was born on the world on New. I'm pretty sure it was New Earth.
He doesn't know a world. He doesn't know a time there was no noise. Some of the men that arrived there, they lived lives before and they know. Yeah. But he does. So he's still learning how to control all this and to keep to himself.
Yeah. And so the result is, so Tom Holland is like the main character, or Todd Hewitt is his name, which we know because he says it a lot. Anyway,
he keeps like mentoring, I'm Todd Hewitt.
Yeah, that's what he needs to control. They'll say like control your noise. Whenever he doesn't want someone to know what he's thinking, he'll just like lock down and you just hear him thinking over and over, I'm Todd Hewitt, which is hilarious. It's like a little kid trying to hide that they're lying. Like, we know that you're hiding something, Todd Hewitt. Like, anyway. So we see he's kind of fairly typical teenage kid. He's really frustrated with like the boredom of his life, working on this farm, and there's just a whole bunch of men everywhere, but he loves his dog, and the mayor of the town seems to really like him and be impressed with his abilities. The mayor is Mads Mikkelsen, so right off the bat we know the mayor's going to be kind of a sketchy dude. And they've got horses and fur coats and ride around and do manly things. And anyway, Todd Hewitt's out doing his thing, and he sees. Does he see the girl?
A crash site.
Yeah, he sees the crash site with the graves and discovers this person there, but who runs away. So he gets everyone. He's like, "Hey, there's this person. It was weird. I couldn't hear his noise, but he went off that way." And Mads Mikkelsen's like, "It's a girl," and so they run and they chase her down, and that's when you start to realize like there's something very sinister going on in this town of all men.
Oh, and the reason why the town is all men is because they are colonizers. They're colonizing that planet. So the native race that inhabited that planet. The story is that they killed all the women.
Because this whole noise thing only happens to men. Women have no noise. They're able to keep their thoughts to themselves.
Or the woman don't think.
Yeah, or maybe, there's this preacher character. There's this preacher character who's played, this guy, we've seen him a bunch. I can't remember his name.
He won an Oscar for, what was it?
He's in Selma, yeah.
Or at least was nominated, I can't remember.
Anyway, he's a preacher, and so his whole thing, David Oyelowo.
Yeah.
Definitely said that wrong, but you know who I mean. His whole thing is like women have no noise because they have no thoughts, because they have no souls. So there's this kind of like creepy extremist religion aspect.
Isn't that what they said about Native Americans?
There's probably someone who tried that.
I don't know in North America, because here the colonization was Puritans and what's it called, Reformed churches.
Yeah, but it's really dependent on
down in South America, where the colonization was done by the Iberian, Portuguese and Spanish countries. They were extremely Catholic, and the Catholic Church endorsed them to enslave the Native Americans because they had no soul.
But then they sent the Jesuits to aggressively, forcibly baptize them.
Yeah, no, it was one of the other. The Native Americans were innocent. And the blacks had no souls. That's the justification that they had it. It's interesting that they said that.
Yeah, and there are a lot of parallels between Chaos Walking and like that sort of early colonial history of the New World. New World, New Earth. Interesting. Anyway, I've done a terrible job of explaining the plot, but basically...
that was like 5 minutes on the movie.
Yeah. Never seen a girl before. All of a sudden, here's this girl with yellow hair. He can't keep his thoughts to himself. She's super freaked out because she's crash landed, had to bury her entire crew, now has to get in touch with the mothership, which turns out is actually the second wave of colonists. But in the meantime, creepy Mads Mikkelsen has her locked up in a building and tells her that all the women are dead, and what on earth is going to happen? Well, Tom rescues her. Or no, she runs away, escapes to his barn. So he tells his dad what's going on, and we're just going to start condensing a lot. But his dad say, "Oh, okay, I guess we have to tell you, you should take her to this other settlement." And he's like, "Wait, what? There's another settlement?" And then Mads Mikkelsen and the posse show up and start shooting people. And so Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley have to get out of there fast.
And the main goal is she wants to communicate with her ship. So it's like, hey, she might be able to do that at the settlement. So they're gonna go there,
right,
and try that. And once they get there, they find out that there's nothing much they can do.
But there are women.
Yes.
A bunch of them, and like little kids, and this whole time, one of the really delightful aspects of this movie that kind of lightens up, it's pretty heavy, but one of the things that lightens it up is that we get to hear all of young Todd Hewitt's thoughts. It's like the first time every time he sees Daisy Ridley, he's like, "Oh, girl, pretty girl, space girl, yellow hair, high voice, it's pretty.
I like her.
Yeah. And then she'll look at him and he goes, I'm Todd Hewitt. I'm Todd Hewitt. I'm Todd.
Yeah, I thought really one of the highlights of the movie, and Doug Lyman did that in his other movies too. One of the highlights is the casting. This is great casting because Tom Holland is the kind of teenage idiot.
Is not even a teenager anymore.
I know, but I mean, he does that role really well.
He does.
And I don't know if it's method or if it's the system, but he is born for Peter Parker, teenage Todd Hewitt. He's
sweet, good, naive.
And he kind of like, I like her. Space girl.
Kind of like a golden retriever puppy.
Space bag.
Yes, space bag.
And on the other hand, Daisy Ridley, she at least on the roles we saw her so far, she's the quiet type, more serious, and I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's the method or if the system or the roles we saw her before. And I think she does really great on this movie, and they together do really well. I think it was really good.
Yeah, they did great. So, and they this journey kind of forces them and helps them bond and come closer together. They get to the settlement and they realize they can't communicate with the ship, but maybe they can go to the wreckage of the first ship and find a communicator there. So they go there, and as they go on this journey, they uncover the full tragedy of what had happened before with this first wave of colonists. How some of them had set off to... I've already forgotten the name of the place. Anyway, they set up their own settlement, and it was this group of settlers who just completely lost it, and the men couldn't handle this whole our thoughts are visible but we have no idea what the women are thinking, and ended up killing all the women, including Tom Holland's mother, and that's what had been kept from him the whole time. So this is like slowly revealed as the film goes on. So by the time we get to the wreckage of that first ship, Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley have they trust each other now. They have a good relationship. Tom Holland has like come to grips with some of the horrors in his past, and kind of changed how he views like all these men in his life, and who he is and who they are, their role on this planet. All this stuff has happened, and then finally we have a giant ship that they have to rappel into and scavenge for parts so that they can talk to the ship. And here we finally have like the full-on like physical confrontations with,
and a great use of Spider-Man and Ray skills of climbing and getting garbage.
Yeah, there's this great moment where Tom Holland's like he's trying to reach the next thing, and I just thought like just right there. Yeah. Yeah, so then finally there at the end we get like the physical confrontation where she faces the preacher. He tries to kill her, and he's the one who had kind of like orchestrated the whole and exacerbated the whole these women don't have souls, so we gotta kill them idea. So he has to face a woman and is finally defeated by one. And Tom Holland has to face the mayor, who was someone he had trusted and admired, and acknowledge that like this guy killed his mom and everything else. So and yeah, it works. They get the message off, and we leave them as the second wave of settlers is coming in, and New Earth is changing all over again.
Yeah, and yeah, it's open for more, especially because there's all the settlements, but there's the natives, for us aliens, the natives of that country. There we see them like very little. We don't know what their deal, and
they have the noise as well.
Yeah, but we don't know the relationship between Earthlings, humans, and the local natives are violent. But we don't know if they are actually violent or if they just responding to the human violence. And I really like it. I really hope they make more.
Yeah, it's based on a trilogy, so I I mean, I have no idea if this film was based on the first book or if it was trying to condense the whole trilogy into one, or how in the world that works. But yeah, there's a lot. I think there's a lot more to tell here, and but even if there's not, this alone was a great movie. Yeah. Westerns seem to be very in right now, and this was another like space western.
Yeah.
Which I will never be mad at.
No, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Walking. Mm-hmm. It's available. It's out in the theaters everywhere. It might be available on some home, whatever.
Premiere access type.
Yeah. But if it's open where you are, go to the movies, go watch. It's a good fun.
Definitely worth it.
It's enjoyable. Mm-hmm. Space boy, space girl, yell her.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
He tries to kiss her. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's very well balanced. The science fiction elements, like Western cowboy elements, trying to survive the bad guys, and the mystery of the past, the revelations. We also learn stuff from her and how she was raised on the ship and stuff like that. And there's like the comic relief is at some point. It's very well balanced. Yeah, Doug Liman definitely did a great job, and the casting, as I said, was really good.
Yeah, and that balance is really important because like these darker aspects of the film are really dark and heavy. Things like
killing all women because they don't think. Out loud.
Anyway.
Yes. So Chaos
Rising. Walking. I keep wanting to say Chaos Rising.
Yeah, maybe it's the sequel.
Maybe. That could work. We'll see. Yes. But anyways, let's move on to some news. So we are less than a week away from the release of the Snyder Cut.
Yes.
But some people are closer than that.
Yeah, so some dude or dudette, some intern or old timer, who knows, attached the wrong link. Or some computer, maybe it was some computer glitch.
Yeah.
The movie is supposed to premiere on HBO Max, wherever HBO Max is available, and some other providers around the world. But in the United States, it's going to be on HBO Max on Thursday. So some kid decided, "Hi, Mom, I'm gonna watch Tom and Jerry." Clicked on Tom and Jerry, and what starts? The Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Justice League.
Apparently, it was like the first hour or something.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
The first hour was available until someone realized it's like, wait a minute. He could
shut that down.
Yeah. So, which like it's like basically the half of the first act. The movie has 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
So it's not even, but it leaked and some people saw it.
Yeah.
And
So that happened. But Thursday's coming soon.
Yes, and it's like long awaited, and there's a lot of news about it. There's some people that already saw. People that they're gonna do a premiere red carpet on Thursday. Zack Snyder gonna be online with Kevin Smith, and they're gonna do this virtual red carpet. And it's this journalist, this film journalist, said that she saw the movie, and she talked to people, Warner Brothers, and she guarantees that second and the third Justice League movie is a possibility. And Warner keeps saying that no, but it's like, you don't know how big this movie is gonna be, And I mean, you know how big this movie is gonna be. You know how much people worked for this movie. I'm not even talking about the people that made the movie, because for sure they worked, but the people that worked to make that movie happen.
Yeah.
People from all around the world donating money, donating time, protesting, organizing, and it happened, So if you build it, they will come, and if you make more,
if you hashtag it, HBO will listen and make your darn movie.
And so the possibility, and that's the big, that's the thing. because of HBO Max, the possibility it's really real. It's really big because even if it doesn't go to the theaters, and theaters right now it's kind of like you don't know, but the possibility of the movie going straight to HBO Max is real.
It is, and we've had some announcements for more DC content coming from HBO Max. First of which is a Batgirl movie.
It was confirmed.
Yes. And there's a possibility that Christina Hodson is working on the script. And Christina Hodson is the one behind Birds of Prey. I would personally love to see her do. I really hope that that's true and that happens.
Okay.
That she's doing Batgirl.
It would be a very different movie, but sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I really love what she did with Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Also, was confirmed as the Zatanna show. The Warner had this meeting for investors other day, and they announced and confirmed everything we heard, plus the Zatanna show and Batgirl movie. And as we heard before, HBO Max gonna try to keep 2 DC movies every year, shows, plus 2 movies at the theater that eventually will be on HBO Max too. Yeah, but Black Adam, Suicide Squad, the sequel, what else? Gotham City PD, whatever they call. There's a Constantine show rumors. Yes. There's
The Rock did
Aquaman, Mera.
I was just gonna say, The Rock did say today that they're a month out from starting the Black Adam shooting, and so that is finally happening.
And they finished and they wrapped up the Batman.
Yes, the Matt Reeves one. Okay. Meanwhile, over on The Flash, things are still moving forward there, and we've had some new casting announcements. So Billy Crydup is not coming back because of scheduling conflicts with... Is it the morning show that he's in?
And he's on Star Trek, the new show. What's it called? Brand New Worlds?
Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds?
Some New Worlds.
Either way, there's new worlds and a new series, and he's in it, so he's not going to
So he's on that, and he's on the morning show, so... morning show, the Apple show, not any morning show.
Yeah, the morning show. Yeah, so he won't be back, but...
which is bad, because, continuity. It would be cool to see him.
It would be cool. But they have cast Barry's mom.
I guess if he's not coming back for that reason, he has a bigger role on this movie. Because
sure, because he can't just come shoot a couple scenes.
He couldn't take a week off to shoot.
Yeah. I don't know. But either way, so they've cast his mom, Maribel Verdú. I am definitely saying her name wrong. She's been big in Spanish-speaking cinema for a long time. She was in Y Tu Mama También.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That was her breakout role.
Okay.
She was also in Del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
So she's had some big roles. But now she's coming.
Almodovar and Del Toro.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So she's well known. She's got a major career, just maybe not quite so much for Anglophone audiences.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, she's gonna be his mom, Nora Allen.
Another Allen lady, Iris West, eventually becomes Iris West Allen. It was confirmed, announced that the actress that was Iris on Justice League, the original Justice League that we finally gonna see, the original version. According to the director, not the theatrical version.
Yeah.
So she's Iris on the movie, on the Justice League. Zack Snyder, they're gonna see next week.
Next week. Yep.
And she was confirmed that she's gonna be back for The Flash. Again,
yes. Kiersey Clemons.
Continuity.
Okay. So that's all we got for DC this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, we're gonna be next week talking the whole time about Snyder Cut because the movie has 4 hours. And you saw how she summarizes 5 minutes of movie.
Okay, to be fair, I was trying to remember the movie, and it's kind of complicated, and I just did a really bad job.
And Justice League will not be complicated, will not be hard to summarize.
But it will be incredible.
I'm saying it.
You're being sarcastic, aren't you?
It might be a little bit,
I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, Netflix was testing some limits on password sharing. What? Does anybody do that? Well, who would do that?
I guess. I mean, if they wanted, they could limit it to IP. But I guess there's issues with that because you can use on, you travel, you use out there. On your phone, you use out there. So, but
I thought they had a pretty good system by just limiting the screens that could use it at a.
Yes, at the same time.
The devices that could use it at the same time.
Yeah, and they charge more if you want more screens. So. Yeah, I don't know. That's going on.
The Rocky / Apollo / story is continuing.
Yes.
The 3rd installment.
Creed 3. And following the tradition of actors that play Rocky, Apollo. Now Michael B. Jordan gonna direct. It's gonna be his director debut. He's gonna be first time directing us. One Sylvester Stallone did once. I think Rocky 3, 4, 5, and all the other ones. Yeah. Maybe not 5. Yeah, but he was producer and director. Stallone was actually. He wanted to direct the first one. He wrote and directed, but the studio said, nah. Yeah. The studio says, like, we don't want you as an actor. But it's like, okay, then now that's too much. Yeah, I don't direct it. It's fine, but I have to be in a movie as an actor. And I wrote the movie, so yeah. Yeah. And it's his masterpiece. Yeah. Okay. So Creed 3. We don't know where the franchise goes now, but it'll be back, and Michael B. Jordan will be in the main role and also directing.
He seems like someone who would be good at that.
Sure. I mean,
I'm basing that entirely on vibes and no actual evidence. But,
we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Oh, there's a new trailer for one of his new movies. It's called I Can't Remember. In the movie, it's not called I Can't Remember. I just can't remember. It's Out of the Shadows. Honestly, it's Out of the Shadows. Anyways, it's like what's the guy that does Rainbow Six and Harrison Ford, Jack Ryan movies? Jack Ryan. What's his name? Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Director?
No, the book. It's
are those Clancy?
Clancy. Tom Clancy. So this one is let me get this real quick. You have IMDb here, right?
I do.
It's Clark. I think it's John Clark. So John Clark, a character that we know from Real Immediate, The Clear and Imminent Danger, Jack Ryan's movie. So this one's called Without Remorse. Ooh. Yeah, so it's the story of Tom Clancy's John Clark. That on the movie was William Dafoe. So another Tom Clancy movie coming, which they're good. So yeah. So and the trailer for this one looks good. Another one for Michael B. Jordan. And yes. Right. What else?
Okay. There will apparently be a Young Guns 3.
Yes.
This from the mouth of the one and only Emilio Estevez.
Yes. And this is exciting because this was a fun. This was a good. Yeah. Great casting. And we'll see who will be back.
We will see.
Because the second one, we see this old guy telling the story of Billy the Kid. And we see Billy dying, so I don't know if it's gonna be before. Maybe Billy didn't die there, because according to the history books, Billy died by the hands of one Pat Garrett, and maybe history is not as it's him. It was,
All right, I'll put this with Coming to America as a sequel that nobody asked for.
I mean,
Well, it could be really enjoyable.
Yeah, if they bring back Kiefer, if they bring back
if they could get the cast.
Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips,
It seems like
Christian
Estevez
Slater.
is involved.
Yes, Lou Diamond Phillips. Who else was on?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
There's so many young famous actors. Charlie Sheen was in the first one, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he
in
was.
the first one he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one won't be back since he didn't come for the second one. His character died. But yeah.
All right, that's happening. There has been a bit of a coup in the global box offices. Endgame, at one point, it was the highest grossing film of all time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Narrowly beating out Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar. So he very cleverly, well, I don't know if this is why, or if this was like a pandemic thing or whatever, but anyway, Avatar was re-released in several theaters, including Chinese theaters. And now, guess what is the new highest grossing film of all time?
It's Avatar.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because probably nothing else is showing. It's not like people went on masses to see Avatar. Because probably it was Avatar and, I don't know, some crappy old Chinese movie that people... I saw that like 100 times. I never seen these blue guys. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be too excited. I mean, I'm not going to congratulate anybody.
If Avengers is re-released there, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like re-releases shouldn't count towards box office totals.
I don't think... I'm not sure. I'm not sure how does that work, because you keep seeing like re-release special screenings of movies like Star Wars and movies like marathons. I'm pretty sure they make some decent numbers to go. But anyways, Avatar is on the top again. Yes. For now.
Yes, and just as Avatar has embiggened its box office earnings, Dictionary.com has embiggened their lexicon by
adding one verbit. Is that
I don't know.
Verbit?
I have not heard that word before.
Okay, so it's a new one. It means word to dictionary, and it's embiggened.
Yes.
From the mind of Matt Groening from The Simpsons.
Yes, one of many neologisms.
As you know the phrase?
I don't know the phrase, actually.
It's,
Do you know the phrase?
I can't remember now. It's a man embiggened by open. Can you Google that? Embiggened Simpsons. Okay. Because he found is mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh. Because it's a community phone apparently.
Oh yes, a noble spirit embiggens the smallest man.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually really nice.
Jebediah Springfield. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is part of the Webster and Dictionary.com, and yes.
Yeah.
Anything else to embiggen this episode?
No, I think our noble spirits have embiggened this podcast as much as they can handle.
Yes, so I guess that's it for this week. Next week, full on Zack Snyder Justice League, and maybe if there's any important news, but
it's gonna have to be really important though.
That one is stop.
Yeah.
Years on the making, literally.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week. We see you next week with Justice League and Zack Snyder. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.